I'm the lead author of Proposition 2, which California voters passed overwhelmingly by a almost 59 to 41% margin. This was a bipartisan school bond that is going to provide $10 billion for our K through 12 schools as well as our community colleges to fix unsafe school conditions. We have 38% of our K-12 schools that have conditions that violate health and safety standards. They include anything like mold or asbestos in roof tiles, lead in drinking water. So those are the most urgent public health issues that we want to address to make sure that all of our schools are safe for our children. But beyond that, we want to continue to invest in our schools so that all children, regardless of who they are, where they live, can benefit from not only attending safe schools and safe school facilities, but also to invest in things like science labs, computer labs, things that will help prepare our children for the 21st century workforce.
And can you expand on that, what's happening in the schools that need infrastructure?
Most of our schools are over 50 years old. They are in desperate need of being updated, modernized. So what the school bond will provide is primarily matching dollars to local school districts. So in the state of California, we have about 1,000 school districts, K through 12. As well as our community college system. But each school district is governed locally. They decide their own local priorities. That extends to school facilities. Rather than this one-size-fits-all approach of Sacramento imposing like a common goal or mandate from the state capitol, that we are leaving it up to the local school districts to decide what are their school facility priorities, what buildings need to be fixed, where do they want to spend dollars in terms of, investing in, say, science labs or computer labs. And then the state bond that is going to be provided through this measure that California voters just passed, Proposition 2, is going to provide matching dollars to the local dollars that school districts will be allocating to address their school facility priorities.
So these school districts, they have to kind of allocate their own money, or is it they have to borrow?
So for most school districts, they have to provide their own money, and then we provide up to 50% for school districts that have higher percentages of disadvantaged student populations, low-income students, immigrant students, foster kids, that they would receive additional dollars. But the basic design of Proposition 2 is to provide matching dollars to local school districts with more dollars for disadvantaged schools and disadvantaged communities.
How do the schools actually upkeep their infrastructure? Do they have an ongoing process or?
Yeah. So in the state of California, over 80% of our public school districts are funded by the state of California. And oftentimes, because California, we live in such an expensive state that most school districts' budgets are allocated for the teachers and the bus drivers and the cafeteria workers and the principals, the people that operate our schools. And there's very little dollars left available to address these school facility needs. It's kind of like I compare these school bonds to mortgages. Most people they pay for their daily living expenses through their paychecks, and they try to save for the rainy day. But in terms of capital needs, capital infrastructure, whether it's schools or whether it's highways and roads and bridges, most infrastructure needs are addressed in the state of California through bonds.
How would they get paid back?
Proposition 2 is $10 billion in state matching dollars that are to be raised without any new taxes. I should have emphasized that at the beginning. The bond indebtedness is paid through the general fund rather than concentrating $10 billion in one-time expenses, which would be a huge burden on our state budget. We pay it over time, essentially like a mortgage.